Good morning, everybody. Happy, chilly, beautiful Monday morning. It is fall. I love it. Today we're going to talk about spring and fall, my two favorite times of the year. Spring, I'm so happy and I'm going achoo, achoo, achoo because I'm allergic to everything. Fall, I'm happy and I'm going achoo because I'm allergic to everything. But it is so beautiful. Now in the summer, you don't see me singing zippity-doo-dah. I don't like hot, don't like to sweat, although I do love the warm temperatures. I don't like that massive hot stuff. Cold weather, this knee, this ankle, this old age will get a hold of us all, and we might as well get ready because winter is going to be here. I talked to Cherie last night and I said, "What you doing?" She said, "I'm laying in a hammock in the yard." I said, "Oh, what's the weather there?" She said, "Oh, it's beautiful. It's in the 50s. And I thought, 50s? About then it was in the 80s in ball ground. But that's how fall does at different times of the different places. Like Alaska, it's a little different fall than what we get. But she was enjoying every minute of it. We are going to enjoy every minute of fall this year, and we have so much going on in our community. This weekend, Jasper had a very successful art walk. Downtown Jasper, you got to give those folks credit. It is hopping, it is full, it is packed. People are eating, they're strolling, they're listening to music. They are loving downtown Jasper. In the next few weeks, you're going to get to go to, this is the list, Georgia Marble. Marble Festival has always been the first weekend of October. It is coming up. It is time, over 50 years of doing this. Then you have Talking Rock Heritage Days, and then you have Ball Ground Rocks. That is coming up. And then you have the Sorghum Festival, and then you have the Moonshine Festival. You have the Apple Festival. You have so many festivals going on. It is absolutely something to do every single weekend. How do you get them all in? Well, you choose your favorite. And of course you would start in Ball Ground because we're the first place you hit when you're coming up from Atlanta. So check it out and stop by downtown Ball Ground and get to know everybody. Now something is going on in Ball Ground now that we would love to invite you to be a part of. We have a scarecrow contest. And you do your scarecrow and you sit him anywhere in downtown, the whole downtown street. You can just pile him up there, fix him up, put the name of your business, the name of your company, whatever, and learn that if you do a really good job, you can get some bragging rights. We did a pretty good job a few years ago and we got third place. I didn't like third place. I wanted first, but that's okay. First place was better than ours and I give them credit for it. So, but this year, if you're in the market for that, it's a $25 entry fee, and that money stays right in Ball Ground and helps things about Ball Ground. So you can check that out, and I think Evelyn has that on a Facebook page, and become a part of what is happening in Ball Ground. Everybody's doing a little bit something different, a little quirky, a little cute, a little fun. We're working on Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz because as realtors, there's no place like home. There's no place like home. So of course, that's what we wanted to do, and we're going to share that with y'all, and we hope you will stop by our office and get to know downtown Ball Ground. Let me tell you a secret. Downtown Ball Ground is growing, and people are loving it. And every single day I meet somebody who's moved into the area who fell in love with the place. It's not just folks who grew up there now. Everybody loves Ball Ground. They love the atmosphere. They love the walkability. They are loving that. We're seeing that in Jasper. We're seeing that in Blue Ridge. We're seeing that in Talking Rock. Even Talking Rock is growing. It's amazing, and it is becoming all that we had hoped it would be, and we keep saying we are preserving the past, embracing the future. And I think that's what's very important. As these tiny towns grow, we want them to grow but not outgrow themselves. And we want that sweet attitude of neighbors and like ETC used to say, neighbors serving neighbors. We're going to share some photos with you now. And we've gone through a lot of photos. And I finally found one of me and Jen when we were smiling and she had a lot of hair and I had a little bit more of me. But we're going to share that with you. She has been in the hospital, and we had asked you to please continue to pray for her. She has gone through a couple of years of fighting cancer, and this was a blood pressure problem. So go figure, you're fighting cancer and then you get a blood pressure problem. So please continue to pray for her. And continue to pray for those families that are struggling with health issues. I got a message from James Jones yesterday, and he is down at Emory, and he is fighting all kinds of things going on and worried about some blood clots. And so if you ever listened to Barry Scott and James Jones when they were doing music way, way back when, I can tell you that is one of those voices and one of those talents that you would never, never forget. So please say a prayer for him. And also, the community of Jasper lost a really good guy this week, and it's so weird. Mo Fountain was just one of those guys that just a good fella, and I saw him not too long ago. Evelyn and I actually took our son to the Waffle House in Ball Ground, and he came up. He was sitting beside us, and we were talking and sharing, different things. And I said, that kind of explains to you, you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You have no idea what tomorrow's going to bring. Because I was sitting next to him at Waffle House talking to him, and the next thing you know, his family's saying their goodbyes. So that's what happens, and we have to capture every single moment. Now, everybody all weekend was asking me, please explain your bread pudding. So we've got lots of pictures on here that we're going to share, and that was us preserving the past because we preserved those rocks. That is that little boy Riker John's first Halloween. Halloween is coming, and everybody's decorating, and it's so much fun. Now, this is the bread pudding, and one lady kept asking me, give us the recipe, give us the recipe. I said, it's so hard for me to give a recipe, but I'm going to share that. See that cup behind the cinnamon? That big cup holds 4 cups. 4 cups. The liquid for this product is 4 cups, whether you use milk, condensed milk. I use 1 can of condensed milk, and then I use regular milk. I use 4 eggs, and I use half a cup of sugar, and then you stir all that up, and that is your 4 cups. But that one wasn't full because I wasn't finished with it. So 4 cups of liquid and 5 cups of your breadcrumbs. That's the basic ingredients. And then you add vanilla, you add some cinnamon. I chop up candy bars and put in it to make the chocolate with nuts. I put applesauce or diced apples if I want to do an apple bread pudding. If I want to do a caramel bread pudding, then I just drizzle some caramel candy in it. It just, whatever mood you're in, that's how you make bread pudding. You gather all the breads that you have left from the week, and you dice them up in these little cubes, and then set them aside in your bowl, and it's about 5 cups of the cubes, and then you start with your liquid, and I call that liquid gold. I do regular milk, a can of condensed milk, 4 eggs, vanilla flavoring, and then the sugar. And even when you add the sugar, it raises the height of the milk in the jug, in the cup. And so once you get to the top, see how it's at the top now? That's 4 cups. So you use 4 cups of liquid, whatever your liquid might be. You might want to use canned milk, you might want to do condensed milk, you might want to just do whole milk, whatever you want to use, and add your sugar and eggs, and then you cover your breadcrumbs with it. And then I layer it when I'm putting in the baking dishes. I put a little layer of the bread mix, and then I put a little of the caramel or a little of the chocolate or a little of whatever I'm using. I could use pineapple, bananas, whatever I'm in the mood for. And that's the thing about my bread pudding. You never know what you're going to get, because I might do bananas, I might do pineapple, I might do cream cheese. I just choose whatever kind of mood I'm in. And the cooler weather, the more I'm in the mood for bread pudding. And I can tell you, see that little, isn't that sweet? That is a cutting board that a gentleman up in Canton County made, and I absolutely love it. And the other thing about the bread pudding, when you're doing the applesauce in it, I sprinkle a little extra cinnamon because the apples seem to love that cinnamon. So that's how you do it. And that one was a chocolate bread pudding, that one was. And so inside that, you can't see it because I put a little of the bread pudding and then I put a little of the chocolate. And then that's the finished product. Now that's the apple one. That's the apple one. And it has apples and cinnamon And I do a little cream cheese icing on the top, which just gives it a little more buzz, and it's so simple, y'all. This is like the simplest recipe that you can do and share. You can make a huge recipe of it, and you can share it with people, and everybody who's tasted it says it's pretty good. So check it out, try it, and share it with your neighbors, and that's kind of what I've been doing. So, and everybody seems to like it. Now that's the chocolate one, and it was a bigger one, a much bigger one. And I think that's about 4 cups. Now, on our commercial, you see that there is Creekside. Now you see Creekside built out. They had an open house this weekend, and their homes are beginning in the 400s, and they are Creekside, walking distance to downtown Ball Ground. And they're about finished. So if you're looking for a house, they do not have masters on the main, and that's one of the things that kind of, my customers usually want a master on the main because we're all getting old and have bad knees, but that's the way it goes. But if you're a young family and looking for a place, if you're looking for investment property, there you go. And this is the pride and joy. This is going to be amazing. Malone's Pond is across the street from Calvin Farmer Park. It is walking distance to downtown. It is going to offer beautiful, beautiful homes. Berkshire Homes does a job like none other. They are absolutely amazing, and the detail is there. So I think so many people are going to be so excited to get an opportunity to move to Ball Ground. These will be estate-size lots. They will be a little bit larger than most lots in developments. It is gated, and it is truly walking distance to downtown Ball Ground. And I know that because Miss Evelyn walks her dog from there every morning and walks around. And I said, do you mind counting the steps so we can tell everybody exactly how many steps? And this, Marcy recently lost the love of her life. Michael went to be with Jesus, and there's Marcy on the end in that rose-colored sweater. She's been a dear friend and a co-realtor for many, many years, love her to death. And Michael lost his battle with pancreatic cancer, and it's been a sad time, but I can tell you for 27 years they had a happy, happy life. Now this is what fall is about, and we tell everybody, get out and do something fun in the fall. You want to work in your yard. You want to work around your house. You want to do things. You want to accomplish things because you're not so flippin' miserable hot. And so fall is the time to get out and prepare for your winter, whatever you're going to plant for winter. And this is my buddy Shirley from up in Pennsylvania as she came to visit, and we went to Blue Ridge. Look at that tree. Do you know what's about to happen to the trees in our area? We are about to have fall leaves. What comes with fall leaves? You know what comes with fall leaves. Tourists do. Be sweet to them, be welcoming to them, and be very cordial to them because they are here to make us happy. Because when they come to your business, they make you happy. So keep that in mind. Now look at that. Look at those little pumpkins by that little boy. 5 years old, y'all. It is so hard to believe that little boy is 5 years old. That was one of the biggest mums I've ever seen, and I can't remember where I got that, but that's a cool, cool mum. And remember those mums, if you plant them in the ground, they will come back every year. And that is Riker John when he went to NASCAR with his papa for his birthday. And there he is, first Halloween. So happy, happy 5th birthday to that little boy who does not seem real that he's 5 years old. And that was our office before Goofy decided to sell it. I don't know what I was thinking, but Jane and Joel fell for it and we sold it. So that, last week my Brunswick stew recipe was in the paper, and everybody said, we wish you could see the pictures in the paper. We wish you could see what it looks like. So I said, well, I happen to have a photo I will share with you on the show. So that is what my Brunswick stew looks like. Now, if you were looking at my sister's Brunswick stew, it would have those dreaded lima beans in it. She and Grandma put lima beans in theirs. I do not. I am not messing up Brunswick stew with a lima bean. I don't think you should mess up much with a lima bean. Now, Happy, happy fall and happy, happy heavenly time to my sweet Aunt Louise, who was my best bud, my dearest friend, sweetest person in the world. And boy, this time of year, I miss her so much because she loved coming up to the mountains and visiting during the fall. But there's so many people gone that we loved so much. And this is the time of year, I don't know why we think about them, but yesterday I was doing funeral flowers and I was just thinking, dang, there's my sister. She's about to celebrate her first heavenly birthday. I don't like that she's not here anymore, but boy, would I bring her back for her to suffer with cancer? No, sure wouldn't. So happy, happy heavenly birthday to my precious sister Lila. And there's Jen. This is before cancer. This is before she was sick. This is before she lost her hair. This was a fun time with a gentleman that we love. The chef loved coming and spending time with us, and we loved it. He is now working in corporate America, traveling and doing cooking, and that's what it's about. Do something that you love, and it kind of makes you think you don't really have a job, you just have fun. And I want to remind everybody, we're going to have the Halloween Spectacular down at the Botanical Gardens on October the 28th. It is free. It's going to have trunk or treat, and please bring your children. It is right next door to City Hall in Ball Ground, and we want you to come and spend time with us because the Botanical Garden is absolutely beautiful all the time, but I guarantee you when Evelyn and the ladies get through decorating it, it will be really, really sweet. And your children will get lots of goodies, and I think we're going to have a couple of gift baskets to give away. Now that is one of my favorite pictures I've ever taken in Ball Ground. That is Ball Ground First Baptist Church, and that is from the ridge at Calvin Farmer Park and at Farmers Crossing. So that's a picture probably 8 years old, but it is one of my very, very favorite because it shows the church peeking through. And this is as it was before it became Farmers Crossing. And progress, and well-planned progress, and we're so excited that now people are going to have a reason to come to Ball Ground and to enjoy the things that we love. And there's something we love. We love Mentally. We love Mentally Mullinax, and we love Paul, and we love Jenny. So happy, happy fall to you precious ladies. And Mentally just lost her sister, and that's really, really hard. And there's somebody I never get to fall that I don't think of going by Boardtown and seeing Margie and Charlie. They've gone to heaven, but we know. And look at that, y'all, the yellow jacket. The yellow jacket. How many amazing meals did we all enjoy there? Oh, my goodness, I can still smell them chicken livers. Oh, goodness gracious. And my precious granny, my precious, precious granny. When fall hits us, it reminds us that the holidays are coming, things will be different, and there's Marcel. The best pound cake in the world came out of her oven, and there's Mama Lucy. Sadly, Alzheimer's took her away from us. So now, if you watch YouTube, you know that there are people all over the world who go to movie scenes and movie sites, and then they do stories on YouTube. Well, I'm going to tell you about one that's over in Forsyth County, Georgia, and there it is. And there was an old bridge. You see that old bridge there in the background? And this is from the movie Six Pack that Kenny Rogers starred in. It's one of my favorite movies he did, and I've watched it over and over and over. But this is in Forsyth County, just by where it becomes Beaufort and Gwinnett County, so it's kind of at the Gwinnett-Forsyth County line, just off Highway 20, and Settles Bridge Park is there, and you can get out and walk around and look, and there is a place where people were diving off the bridge, and that was pretty dangerous, so they put up signs. But it's Settles Bridge, and it is on the Chattahoochee River. It's a beautiful, beautiful site, and it is a site from the movie Six Pack starring Kenny Rogers. So go and be there and take some pictures and hang out a little bit, stop by the park and enjoy that. And remember that it is in the movie, and it's in the movie a lot. Now this is my favorite remodel ever. This was Harris Farm, built in the 1800s, remodeled, and absolutely loved every single inch of it. See the color of that hall? That's the color I was going for, and I missed it on another remodel. The paint didn't work. That was Ralph Lauren paint, and it was so amazing. And then the stained windows, and I love that I got Tommy to place those exactly in the positions to fit. It just still looks like an old home, even though that was all new additions, and it's crazy. Now I want y'all to see this young boy. You might have seen him around here because Tim's been with ETC a while. You see him now as he's got a haircut and he's got a baby girl, and maybe one day you'll get to see that baby girl. She is absolutely precious. And when you see our camera guys out in the field, tell them thank you for what they do. And happy, happy birthday to Glenda Pearson, who was Glenda Buckner when she and I worked together when I was a kid at F.W. Woolworth's in Atlanta over 50 years ago. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy how time just flies. But happy, happy birthday to Glenda. And happy heavenly birthday a week or so ago to Granny Olga. Oh my gosh, what an amazing cook, what an amazing lady, what an amazing great Christian, and her precious daughter Bonnie. So it's hard. It's hard when everybody you know and love has gone to heaven, but it's not hard if you know you're going to get to see them again. So now, I have so many people who said, did you learn to cook because you owned a restaurant? No. I learned to cook because my grandmother and my aunts insisted that that's what Southern women do. And so, of course, I learned from them. I learned from some of the best cooks. And today, we're going to share a video of me making the biscuits that my granny could not teach me to make. My granny was not patient. Her sister taught me to make them. And then I blew it. And we'll talk about that in a minute. This, people, is so amazing now. This bridge has been replaced. The base is still there, but all the wood is new. And this connects all the new housing off of Old Dawsonville to a 50-acre walking trail in Ball Ground. All compliments of the city of Ball Ground. The walking trail is absolutely beautiful. You see it in our commercial. You see Trace actually walking across that bridge, but it is free to everybody. That's one of the other good things about living in Ball Ground. There's so much you can do. The tennis courts don't cost you anything. Calvin Farmer Park doesn't cost you. It's just amazing. Now that, because my son-in-law won another tournament this weekend, I have to let you know that my daughter reminds me often, you know, I was top lady angler that year too. In 2019, Dawn hasn't been fishing much lately. She's been farming more. But congratulations again to the Fountain Twins. They won another tournament this weekend. We're so proud of them and so proud of the life they're living. And there's James Jones, and again, I ask for prayer for him. He is in the hospital down at Emory at Johns Creek, so we hope that he will be doing well and getting better, and there you go, say a little prayer for him. And that is the view from the ridge. That is the view that you will see when the beautiful homes are built at the ridge. That is absolutely gorgeous, and that, I can't remember what time of year I took that. I think it was in the winter. Seems like the winter sun does that to the mountains, and it was just absolutely beautiful. But we want to remind you that all these towns we serve from Ball Ground to Turtletown are open. And don't forget the Scarecrow Contest down in Ball Ground. And it is one of those things, everybody is doing something they love, something they like, sit it out front of your business, and then everybody votes on them, and who wins gets bragging rights. So there you go, and that's the one that we did several years ago. So now, spring is truly one of my favorite times ever. And this spring, I got a phone call from that crazy man, Mr. Ellijay, and he said, you want to go pick poke salad? And I said, well, I guess, okay. So I went and filmed him picking poke salad, and we did a program about it. Well, when we did it, we told y'all it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of work in the spring, but when do you benefit from it? In the winter and in the fall, because that's when your body needs that cleansing that you get from poke salad. That's when you need the vitamins and the nutrients that you get from poke salad. Poke salad doesn't grow in the fall, and it doesn't grow in the winter. So we gathered it in the spring. We're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to remind you, you might have some poke salad in your freezer and you might want to get it out and cook with it. And we're going to talk about that when we come back in just a minute.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time. And delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
The mountains are calling, and they're closer than you think. Farmers Crossing in Ball Ground offers creekside lots with homes beginning in the 400s. Walking distance to downtown shopping, dining, tennis courts, Calvin Farmer Park, and local events. It also includes a beautiful hike to Long Swamp Creek. Leave the car and the worries behind. Move in by fall 2023. Call Cherie Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Georgia Medical Treatment Center now has 2 locations to bring you the high-quality holistic care you've come to know and expect. We treat neck, back, and joint pain with chiropractic care and injection-based treatment without the need for surgery or prescription painkillers. Our medical weight loss program can also provide relief while ridding your body of toxins, pounds, and inches while improving your overall health. Call today for a free consultation, 770-345-2000, or go online to georgiamtc.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
The ETC Game of the Week is back again this football season. Watch your local teams go head-to-head each week, only on ETC TV3.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
isn't it? In what, really, about 20 minutes? And that's a big old pot.
Yep.
And now, how boiled are you going to boil them before we take them off and cool them?
I'll let you know.
All right. So, an estimate of people's time if they're doing this, maybe when it feels right?
No, it'll lose that light green color and go to a dark green. And it'll, well, I mean, not a lot of people are going to do this. It's a lot of work, poke salad is.
It's a lot of work, y'all.
Yeah.
It really is a lot of work.
When you have a friend over, you don't, it's like blackberries. You don't share that with many people because it takes forever to get it where you want it.
Does that mean it's cool because you shared your blackberries and I got to make blackberry pie for your neighbors and they loved it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they loved it.
They did.
They did. And according to the blooms, you're going to be picking lots of blackberries again this year.
I don't think I'm going to pick any.
Don't tell them.
I've still got all them others.
I don't care. You know, there'll be a day you'll be old and gone and I can't pick them.
Yeah.
That is really cool. That is amazing how much it's cooked down. Wow.
I know. It's coming on down.
Now, I'm going to ask you something. Because we've used this water for this batch, will you start with fresh water every time? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You didn't do that a while ago. You got the cart in front of the horse. It's better to put the poke salad in first, dry.
And do it.
And then fill it up with water. And when you see it start seeping up through get it up right there.
Am I fired?
Could be.
Oh, no. Well.
Then you know you got it right.
Well, I'd say that right now, this is just about the coolest shot I ever saw in my life. Not many people would go to the trouble of making that much poke salad.
Well, there's a whole lot more to come.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Way more.
That is so cool. So we're going to take a break now, and when we come back, it'll be the right color green, won't it?
Probably.
I think it will. Yeah. I think it will. Now, is there more picking in your future?
I don't know how much this is going to be. I like to have plenty on hand. I don't know. You can't guess what this will be. Probably, I'm guessing 12, 15 quarts, maybe. But I want to have plenty.
We'll see. Oh, that was hot, wasn't it?
It didn't hit me.
Y'all see that steam and you see that fire? Isn't that not the coolest thing ever?
If you were in the house, your house would be smelling like poke salad.
Yes,
right
it would. That's why we're outside. And the wind is blowing that smell away. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
There's really nothing wrong with it. It's just that it would smell like poke salad.
Yeah, it would. Yeah,
for several days.
Look at how much it's cooked down. Goodness, right.
Folks, it's been a poke salad kind of day. Poke salad, as we've said repeatedly through this production, it comes in phases. There's a lot of doing to get poke salad. You saw yesterday, or you'll see in this presentation, all the poke salad we had is a big old mountain of poke salad, picked and picked and picked. I ran up and down hills down there on Penland Street. I found a crop over there, so I went and got it. And had the whole back of the SUV, my Yukon, full of poke salad, practically. And it's cooked down now, and we got 13 bags. That's how it works. What is it, a 1 to 8 ratio? I don't know.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Worse, yeah.
It's but it's good stuff. And now all you gotta do is jerk this out of the refrigerator one morning before you start to go drive the bus. And you just set it down in the sink, and when you come back that evening, it'll be ready to cook. And you throw it in the pan with some grease, some onion blades, if you like that, green onions, and you have some eggs ready, and you talk about some fine eating. And if you don't like poke salad, you probably ain't never eaten none of Mr. Ellijay's poke salad.
That's right. That's right. Thank you for doing this, and thank you for giving us a close look at what you truly love, the top lot.
Yes, I love this top lot. Precious memories, unseen angel, sent from somewhere to my
unfold. Precious Father, loving Mother, fly across the lonely years, and old home sings of my childhood in fond memories appear. Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever fill my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. In the stillness of the midnight, echoes from the past I hear. Old time singing, gladness bringing from that happy land somewhere. Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever fill my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever fill my soul. In the stillness of the midnight, precious sacred scenes unfold. Precious memories, how they linger, how they ever fill my soul. In the stillness of the midnight,
And that song goes out to each and every one of you who are looking around today saying, wow, I can't believe they're gone. Gosh, I miss them. Hey, I'm fixing flowers for the graveyard. It's tough. This is that time of year that we realize the holidays are coming, our loved ones are gone, and things are very, very different. So to each of you, listen to a great song, and it will remind you there's a better day coming. There's a better day coming. Well, everybody always says, well, show us how you do it. Do this, do this, do this. My granny and my Aunt Leila took two people to finally get me to make a biscuit. And I'm going to share my method of making a biscuit with y'all. And then I'll tell you what I did wrong. But we are going to share this recipe. It is tried and true, but you have to do it over and over and over to get the technique. Now, evidently, the folks at the Shell gas station down in Ball Ground do it over and over and over to get the technique. They make amazing biscuits. If you haven't had one of their biscuits, stop in and get one. Making biscuits is an art form. Not everybody does it just alike. Some people cut them, some people pinch them. My granny pinched them, I pinch them. But there's something about these winter cool days, the fall days, that's when you want biscuits and gravy. Well, ladies, you've got to learn how to make biscuits to do that. So here we go as I'll show you how I make biscuits. Okay, guys, the gravy is cooked. And see this big old dollop of Crisco? It's going into my flour. And I've made a well, and we are going to make biscuits, and you just crumble it up. Crumble, 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 crumble. And as Scotty Mayfield told me, you mean that flour just volunteers to get in there? And I said, yeah, it just kind of jumps in there and does its thing. So we're doing this, 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 and this. And we are making the biscuits in the little tiny oven because the pound cake is about 10 minutes from coming out of there. And we can't mess up the pound cake, so. And you see how I measured? I don't measure. That's why it's so hard to give people recipes. I've done 3 cookbooks, and it's hard to give people recipes. But when people share recipes with me, I test them and try them, and then sometimes I change them because I just have this thing, you know. I say, well, that was really good, but if it had so-and-so in it, it'd be that much better. So, and you see how it just volunteers, that flour's just volunteering to get in there. Isn't that amazing? Reckon it called and said, hey, y'all, we're having supper, jump in here. Because it is just jumping right in there. And the thing that you have to be really careful is don't overwork your dough. Just gently be real, real sweet to it. And I'm being real sweet to it. And I got to say, this bowl also came from the Walford family. And I love this bowl. There were 2 of them. And oh my gosh, I love it. And it is perfect for making my biscuits. So, is that not the coolest thing? And how simple is that? Now, I put foil down and I buttered it. And we are going to, see that little biscuit? And the coolest thing about the biscuits is you always put your fingerprint in the biscuits. My granny taught me that and I loved it. I said nothing says loving like something with my granny's fingerprints on it.
Is that self-rising?
It is. This is, of course, White Lily self-rising with Crisco and milk. And I think we're going to end up with either 6 or 9 biscuits. I'm not sure. But I think between us, you know, it'll be okay.
I'll hang around if you want me to.
Yes, I thought you would. And this dough just feels perfect. And again, Granny taught me that you put your little fingerprints on them. So, and I know another trick, but I don't have any buttermilk. If you have some buttermilk and you put a tablespoon of buttermilk on top of your biscuit, then picks up that flavor too. It would be great if I had buttermilk to make the biscuits.
You mean you'd put them in the pan? And then
put it over the, just like this. Yeah, you put it over the top.
And then a spoonful of buttermilk over the top of each.
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. Yep. Yep. I can't remember who the first person was. I think Dawn told me that Miss Long does that, and she taught her how to make biscuits. Imagine that. I tried to teach my daughter to make biscuits, and I couldn't figure out how to do it. And then she went to visit a precious little lady, I think over in Fairmount, and she taught her. So we got 6 and 2 babies. So there you go. And in less than 5 minutes, we've made biscuits. And we've got the little oven turned up, and we're gonna let them cook.
What temperature?
It's on about 450. And it just depends on your, like this gas stove. I'm not a big fan of gas stoves, but I have one now, so I'm having to learn to use it. I like electric because it seems to be easier to deal with. I think electric pays attention to you and minds you better, best I can tell. I think gas is kind of like having a man that wants his own way. He just does what he wants to. So, that's why I can describe a gas stove. So
Look at the gravy.
let's stir this up. Now, what do you think? You think we should break up the sausage and put it in there? You want to do that?
Sounds good.
Okay. I'm going to wash my hands, then I'm going to do that. And you want to talk about that pound cake and what it's smelling like?
Oh my word. I said I thought a good idea might be a pound cake and sausage sandwich. Just cut a slices of a pound cake, make them look like loaf bread. Put you a piece of sausage in there.
That would be wild.
Yeah, well, I likened it to pancakes and sausage,
And again, I've got the white lily flour sitting out, but don't mistake it. I always use self-rising.
For biscuits.
Yes, for my biscuits. And here we go. We're going to just...
Now, does it matter when you're making gravy? With the flour?
Okay, now, did you figure out what dummy right here did? I used the wrong flour. I used the black label, and those biscuits didn't rise a bit. So here I am, the queen of biscuits, and I messed my biscuits up. Be sure you use self-rising or you use baking powder and salt. I blew it. So now you've seen I'm not perfect. I blew it. We're going to leave you today with a very special memory. So sit back and enjoy. I'll see you again tomorrow, only on ETC.
Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road, all my memories gather round her. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country road. I hear her voice in the morning hour, she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country road, take me home. Country road.